Today we're going to be learning how to make a healthy marinade and medium rare steak, as well as some shrimp scampi and the awesome ingredients that will be the most nutritious and delicious for you. Let's get to it. If you're new to my channel, my name's Brienne, and I've been in the health and fitness industry for over a decade. And in that time frame, I also worked with children with autism. Nothing more could have convinced me how important and vital food is. And so I changed my course to help you guys. So here we are. We're going to learn how to make informed choices, how to make healthy meals, and how to purchase things that are possibly pre-made that can actually be healthy for you. There's a lot of sneaky ingredients out there in the world, and I want to help you navigate it. Today, we're learning how to make steak and shrimp. Let's get to it. Even marinades have sneaky ingredients in them that aren't healthy for you. So I'm going to share with you how I take a regular recipe and then just provide substitutions to make it healthy. Most marinades will have some kind of oil base, so in this scenario, I would highly recommend use avocado oil. It's a healthy oil that's safe to use at high heats. Many marinades also have a soy base, so I use coconut aminos to avoid the soy and other nasty ingredients that are in soy sauce. I like to top it off with some citrus, which is very common again in most marinades, but I would recommend lime instead of lemon. I feel like it does better with red meat. And then for something sweet, they usually some kind of white sugar, molasses, syrup, something like that. I would strongly recommend you check out my syrup recipe or my syrup reviews, but here I use golden Lakanto. It's going to be highly granulated, so as you're stirring it, it's not really going to want to mix very well. This brown sugar substitute does not dissolve unless even at high heats, and even in baked goods it can sometimes be a little bit granulated, but honestly the flavor is fantastic. It tastes just like brown sugar and it's amazing. Now here I'm just taking my flank steak and I'm actually kind of pushing those granules into the steak itself, so that way it's not, wasting ingredients. Also, the ingredients itself are so important. The quality, if they're organic, if they're from reputable companies that are regulated instead of from places like China, which don't have great regulations. And you can support the local economy also by, using American-made products. It's going to be more expensive, but you're going to have better nutrition and it's going to be more flavorful because of that. So this steak was actually from Butcher Box. They deliver excellent grass-fed beefs, which I don't have time to explain in this video why that's amazing. I can provide that, and then the amounts are in the description box below. Now you're just going to put a lid on, throw it into the refrigerator, go to sleep, marinate it overnight, or go watch your favorite show, Sherlock, Game of Thrones, whatever floats your boat. And then we're going to make some shrimp. The quality of your ingredients is so important, and luckily something that's more nutritious as well as flavorful tend to work in tandem together. Our body is naturally inclined to want more nutritious foods, so they indicate that it tastes better to us. I also got something a little more convenient, which was deveined and peeled, but wild shrimp is going to taste better because it exists, in the wild, and it is more nutrient dense. So our bodies recognize that and encourage us to eat more of it. This company also has very little additives. There's just shrimp, water, and salt, which a little bit of sodium bisulfite to preserve it. If you look at other companies, they add cornstarch and various products that are bad. Also, I love that it's a product of the US. I love to contribute to my society, and the mentality of supporting my country makes me feel better about what I'm doing, as well as it's more regulated than, say, someplace like China. Now we're going to actually do the shrimp scampi portion. I have the actual recipe for that already linked above, but I wanted to show you a quick clip of what it looks like. I'm just saying that I wanted to show you what it looked like, and you can go view that other video if you want to see a slowed down version that's better explained. What I will say is you melt the butter, you put the garlic inside of it, and then you top it off with the shrimp. I like to leave the shrimp after adding, of course, the spices and let it cook halfway through before turning and stirring it. But you can also stir it as you go. It's really not going to change anything. Just one of the biggest indications that the shrimp is done is that it's going to shrink. And you can semi-see it here as it's slowly getting smaller. They were kind of overflowing in the pan, they were getting a little bit larger, and now they're definitely shrinking in size. They fit in the bowl more comfortably. The color is going to change slightly as well. As you can see in this bottom right, it's a little bit more white, and that's going to indicate that it's also cooked instead of being that kind of translucent, muscly kind of looking thing. And then at the very end, you're going to add the Parmesan and a little bit of lemon. You don't want to cook this for too long. The Parmesan cheese will melt to the bottom, so just cook for 3 to 5 minutes and then put it on your pretty plate. And I actually saved this butter to use in another recipe, which I posted last week, which is my chicken and Parmesan recipe. The shrimp is really easy to cook and goes quickly, so you can do that while you're watching your show or later. But the steak is done, it has been marinating. We're going to take it out and put it on a stone tray. I don't cook in anything metal because it does tend to cook into your food unless it's stainless steel, and I don't like anything that has that anti-stick stuff. So salt and pepper has been added, and I'm just going to top it off with a little bit of marinade, and then we're going to throw it in the oven to broil for 6 minutes on each side. Now we're actually going to show you the steak that we're cutting. He is going to take it onto the cutting board and cut it at a slight angle along with the grain. I've always really struggled with finding out where the grain is, but if you kind of push the meat apart, you can see it. He's kind of showing it to you there. And then try to keep the knife as sharp as possible and do it at a slight angle. That'll help with the cut and make, just be careful with your fingers. He is really close to the steak, just, especially because you're going at an angle, just be cautious. Now he's poking it here and teaching me what medium rare looks like. So before you cut it, you can test it. And as you can see, it has quite a bit of give, and that would indicate that it's more red on the inside in case you don't have a meat thermometer or you just don't want to mess with one. This one got overcooked, and as you can see, we're kind of pushing on it there, and it's definitely not medium rare. Handle the Heat is a wonderful blogger. She does baking tutorials, and she explained that a lot of ovens don't actually have accurate thermometers inside of them, and so I bought a separate oven thermometer. I will link below, and it's really helped. My oven does not actually get to the broiling setting. It doesn't get to 525 even though it says it's done, no matter how long I leave it on for. And when you have something like that and you get frustrated cooking, you actually might realize, like here, that you'll get one steak that's almost not even medium rare. It's pretty raw in the center, and then the bottom one is overcooked. Just as a little bit of education so that you can kind of learn that. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about mentality. So many clients, so many people that I talk to say that they don't like cooking, that it's not fun, that they hate it. And I always talk about my trifecta of awesome: meals, movement, and mentality. Obviously I'm doing the meals here. I'm getting movement simply because I'm walking around my kitchen. And the mentality portion is that it could be a pleasant experience if you share it with the people that you love and care about. Get your kids involved in the kitchen, get your husband involved in the kitchen, or maybe just even put on your favorite show in the background so you're watching it while you're cooking. If you're kind of advanced like that, I would say that having my brother around and learning cooking together has really deepened my experience with it and made me have a lot more appreciation for him as a person. And it's an opportunity just to share what we've learned. We haven't look at him yelling at me. He's like, "Really, you're dumb." Like, and we just laugh a lot together, and we just have a lot of fun. And it's been a joy to have him around. So maybe try that in your own family to encourage yourself to eat healthy and share it together.